Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is the Captain speaking, and we're here today to talk about some of the new news and some of the old new news that is circling the internet, along with some stuff I find very disturbing, and to give you guys just a little bit of insight on what really goes on in the world. For some of you who may not understand how big business works, and also how scammers work. So, two-part series today, basically. Just to give a little more meat. That way, it's not a quick show and tell. We're all done. So, before we get started, guys, put them tray tables and seat backs in their full upright position. This is your captain speaking as we go on a ride about why we're paying more for Magic and why we keep getting scammed or people talk about getting scammed in this game that we love so much. As always, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for me, put some comments down below, tell me what you think about the content, or what would you do, how do you feel, do you think I'm right, I'm wrong, what would you like to talk about next time, just whatever it takes. We got to feed that YouTube algorithm, guys, to get some more views for the channel, and anything we can do to help support it. Also, in the description, you'll notice there's a link to my eBay store, which is another way to support my channel by buying all the cards that you see from the box opening series on the actual store. That's right, guys. If I open it in a box, you can guarantee it's probably going to go on eBay. So you want to find them now, find them quick, and know that they're real and they come straight out of a pack. That's the best way to do it. And I do appreciate anything you guys do for me, and thank you again. So, with that said, guys, let's talk about our very first topic today, which is the money grab, I like to call it. So, when we talk about the money grab, everybody always talks about how Wizards of the Coast does this and does that, charges extra money, pack prices are going up, premium products are outrageous. And to top all that off, guys, to give you a little insight to what it's really like to run a big business like Papa Hasbro, or really any business in particular, I'm honestly not trying to knock off on Wizards for this, even though I'm not happy about it. This is what happens at every business. So it's really unfair for me to call out Wizards for this. But if you're in the Magic the Gathering community and you love playing this game, this will affect you. Um, and at least they were honest enough to come out and tell us up front that they were going to do it. So a while back, this was posted on several sites. Um, it says here, Magic the Gathering Dungeons and Dragons fans will notice a slight increase in prices somewhere between now and the end of 2021 as a massive toy and game company, Hasbro, attempts to compensate for the still spiking rates affecting freight shipping costs across the globe. So here it says also, the Hasbro CEO, CFO explained the decision July 26, quarterly earnings call for investors. The company is implementing price increases during the third quarter that should fully realized by the fourth quarter. We expect to offset the rising cost of freight and commodities we continue to see across the business. So board game creators claim freight costs have jumped to twice their usual rates by January 21, and no signs of leveling off, leaving them in an uncomfortable situation at best. Many, such as Root and Vast creators, Ledger Games, have eaten the cost, while others have been left with no choice but to ask customers to pay additional shipping months or sometimes years after the initial crowdfunding payments. So, as it says here, some people are eating these shipping costs. Hasbro has decided to no longer eat these shipping costs. But guys, this is really going to affect you because this is what causes the prices on boxes to go up, the prices on packs to go up. Um, and honestly, this is not anything unusual or special to Wizards of the Coast. Every big business does this. This is why the price of everything goes up. It's because of inflation. As people start making more money and they can pay more for stuff, you have to charge more. And some people may say, but Clyde, that's not how America should be. Well, you're right, it's not. But let's look at this from an actual standpoint um, of what big business means, right? So, what people don't realize is, for example, you give somebody $15 an hour minimum wage. All right. So you've increased the cost from, let's say, $8, $9 to 15. So that's $6 extra an hour you have to charge. A lot of people are like, well, if you do that, you don't have to raise how much it costs to buy something because the people will spend more money. Well, technically, guys, you do, because what happens is it's not that they don't spend money. The problem is it costs you more money to make the items. Therefore, you have to charge more to offset those earnings. And those earnings or those offsets that need to be stabilized and kept where they're at or even increased, like this, is passed on to the customer. Which is why when you increase hourly rates in any way, shape, or form, it increases the cost of the product. So people always talk about how if you increase, for example, the minimum wage, it's not really going to change anything because the price of everything will go up. And that's basically true because, like, for example, here, the reason the cost of freight and commodities is going up, if you guys haven't noticed, the cost of stamps are going up, the cost of shipping in general to local post office is going up, and it's going up to help pay to get people in there and pay people better wages to keep them there. And because of that, the only way to give them those price increases is you have to raise the freight and commodity cost to offset the increases for those people. So when you give people raises, the cost of whatever they make goes up, which means everybody has to pay the extra cost. And since everybody across the board gets raises, that means everything eventually goes up. So that's just something to think about, guys. At least they're honest enough here. They gave us a forewarning that it was coming instead of the normal just, hey, guess what? Boo, prices are jumping. They've already got rid of the manufacturer resale price, which was a really bad call just for people in general because it makes it really hard to track what that price increase is because it helps out the local businesses because they can charge more money. But then you have shady businesses that charge too much. So it's a really weird dynamic, guys, and sometimes it's kind of hard to understand. But this is coming. We're going to start seeing it probably here very soon come to fruition at the end of 21 because we're getting close to it where box prices and stuff, I would probably say that price is probably going to start going up with Midnight Hunt. Matter of fact, I think we've already seen it go up with Dungeons and Dragons as the collector boosters for that set are way higher than the normal collector boosters for no good reason. And when I say that, I mean way higher. Um, so just something to think about. I mean, like the collector boosters are already $20 more than they should be, especially for something that's supposed to be like a core set. I remember buying collector boosters for 150, 160, 170. Modern Horizons came out. Yes, it's a premium product, so it needed a higher price, yada, yada, yada. It's still too high of a price, and because of that, it's dragging the price of everything else up with it. Um, However, the set and draft boosters are still dirt cheap, so it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So with that said, guys, just want to make you aware of that and why it's going on. If you have any comments down below, feel free to leave them. But just understand, guys, try not to get into a fight down there. This is just business on a global stage and how it just happens all the time. And if you don't think that's right, then I mean, you honestly need to pick up a book and read it because this is what causes those kind of pay increases. Because basically, if the market will absorb it, then the cost will go up. Because until the market stops paying for something, the prices will keep going up because it'll keep selling. Supply and demand. It's very simple. So, with that said, guys, we'll move on to the next thing that we'll talk about, which is a quick overview of the scammers. So, here we've seen a video. I made a quick video. Everybody's made a video about the person who got boxes from Amazon that looked like they were shrink wrapped. The guy opened them on screen with the shrink wrapping, and you blatantly seen where the bottom of the packs were opened. Cards that were pricey were taken out, and other cards were put in, if even cards were even put in. And you couldn't tell that the box had been opened because it was still shrink wrapped, it was sealed, it had the logos on it, it looked legitimate. So what someone has found, and I forgot who it was, and I'm very sorry about that, but I'm sure it's all over the internet. You can go look on Etsy. You see here, booster box, Wizards of the Coast shrink wrap. You can see that this is shrink wrap material for a box. It's got the Wizards logo on it. Someone is actually making this stuff and selling it on Etsy. It just goes to show, guys, people will sell anything. So please be careful. Don't buy from Amazon. I understand why you guys do, and I mean, I do get it. Don't get me wrong. But those guys don't care if you get bad product. And now with their new return policy where they don't take returns for this kind of stuff, you're just going to get hosed and no one's going to care. So you're just going to lose your money. So the only way you can save your money is go to your local LGS, go to a trusted seller, and buy from them. Buy from me if you want. I don't sell boxes, but maybe one day I will. I sell single cards right now. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm putting boxes back to sell later when they go up in price. But those boxes will be from me that I got directly from a seller, and I'll even show you from a box openings. You know, just a trusted seller, guys. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't care if it's your local LGS, your friend, your buddy, your pal, but buying stuff from Amazon, especially with this kind of stuff floating around the world, you're asking for trouble. You're asking to get ripped off. And even some sellers um, may not be, how to say it, reputable. Your local LGS, they could be scamming people. You never know. I don't know what your LGS is in your area. Don't get me wrong, guys. But an LGS who sells, multi globally or whatever, all it takes is to sell one box for $500 if you buy it off a storefront, and then you dispute the charges and they just won't give you a refund and yada yada yada. There's lots of different things that could happen. It could be very bad. Um, so I just want to stress again, raise some awareness to you guys. Um, support that local LGS. They're not going to rip you off because it's in their best interest for you to keep coming in and keep buying. Um, you know, Amazon Bezos and his giant penis rocket doesn't care about how much he stiffs you for as long as he can ride his giant cock up into space. Um, yeah, so please be careful, guys. I can't say it enough. Uh, Sorry about the language, but guess what? I don't have enough subscribers to get funded for money, so don't give two shits. But when I do, don't worry, I'll censor it down for the little kids at home. But until then, let's teach them about life. So, with all that said, guys, thanks a lot for your time. I do appreciate it. Please keep an eye out for this stuff. Be careful. Don't get scammed. Buy local. Buy from people you know, people you trust. It doesn't have to be me. Just make sure it's somebody who's not going to hose you. Because the last thing that we need in this game is people getting ripped off and not playing because they got ripped off. It should be a fun, entertaining game. And yeah, people are going to make money one way or another. That's just the nature of everything it buys and sells. But what's important is people get what they paid for, enjoy the game, so they'll play the game, and we can all be a happy family of gamers, right? So, with that said, guys, I'll talk to you next time, and stay on board for some more videos because Gen Con's coming up, and I'm taking my camera, and we will definitely be shooting some videos at Gen Con. All right, guys, thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the other side of the gaming table.